Welcome back to 4 Geeks by Geeks, the place where geeks come to geek out. As always, I'm Boser, and this is your Monday Night Geek Out Sesh, and with a real live guest this time, you guys. Woo! Hey, Alec, thanks for the sub. Alec is here as always. Thanks for hopping in while you're on vacay, I know. I love you, nerds. Thank you. Love you too, Alec. And DSB is here in the chat. M. Gordy's in the chat. I'm really excited for DSB because DSB is one who first suggested these guys from Rising Eagle as guests in the first place. Cantina, did I get here right on time? Dang, were you hoping to get here late? But if this is your very first Geek Out Sesh, we do this each and every Monday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard, right here live on Twitch. Thanks for hanging out. We geek out with artists, with streamers, with comic book artists, with cosplayers, with geeks of all kinds that are doing good and geeking out loud. And if you are watching back on YouTube or listening back on podcasts, thank you. Because if you miss a stream, you can always catch it after the fact on our YouTube or podcast. Look at me go, crushing it by accident. Cantina, of course. Do you crush it any other way? But I know we're a little bit late tonight, so sorry about that, you guys. This is what happens when Boser's left alone running the channel. T wishes he could be here, but he couldn't make it tonight. And that's okay, because we miss him. He'll be in our hearts. Maybe he'll jump in the chat. And if he does, then riddle him with insults for missing it. But because we are a little bit late, I don't want to keep the guys waiting for too long. All I want you to know is you can use the QOTD command, question of the day, and tell me which fruit should get yeeted from this planet. For me, it's personally a fruit that I have just become aware of, and it happened through an IHOP shake where they thought it would be a great idea to take like chocolate and vanilla and put currants on top. Currants suck. They are like spicy and too tangy, and they ruined the entire thing. And so that's mine. Currents can go yeet themselves off the planet, but I know you're more curious about what the guys from Rising Eagle Comics have to say about it. So stick around. We're going to hear the question of the day and also how Rising Eagle Comics got started and their whole story. And I am really pumped about it. You ruined the entire thing. Yes, thank you, Cantina. This is why I love you. This is why you're here. So please give it up for the guys from Rising Eagle Comics. Give it up for Mr. First Greg Porter. Woo! We got Rome and we got Shakes.
What's good?
What's up, yes?
How we doing, you guys?
I like this audience sound.
That's live. It's a live studio. You didn't know that there's live studio here?
Oh no! See, I'm even more nervous.
Oh, I wish I would have told you that before. I'm so sorry.
Oh man!
Because we're definitely not streaming from my back corner of my basement. That would be weird.
Very, very.
So, how you guys doing tonight? How you feeling?
Doing good. We just all got out of work, man. We're doing good though.
Yeah.
I know. I appreciate you guys rushing out of work, slamming some dinner in your faces, and jumping on stream with me. Alex says, "What the heck, Boser? You told them? Who told them that they could be nerds and super buff?"
Are you see the games or something? You know? I'm trying to get like them though.
Okay. It's $1 million studio. Shush, DSB. You stop it. But before we get into all the goodness tonight, I gotta know, what's the question of the day? What fruit would you guys yeet from this earth?
It's definitely mangoes, man. I'm not a true Puerto Rican. Like, you gotta get those mangoes out of here.
Oh my god, you know.
You get those mangoes out of here. I got more too. I got. There's a lot of things we can eat out of here. There's a lot we can eat out of here.
Shake, you have feelings about that?
Mangoes are delicious, yo.
Disgusting. They're disgusting.
Mine is bananas. I hate them. Can't stand.
Oh my god. My whole group is betraying me.
I agree because the banana taffy apple, like that little candy, is disgusting. So I'm right with Murph.
Yeah, banana flavored anything is the first to go for me.
Well, that's very, very different. A real banana versus a banana flavor. I don't know where they hold the flavor.
It's fair.
It's not from a real banana ever.
I think real bananas, the flavor, all of it.
All right, Shakes, what fruit are we eating?
I'll take away kiwi. I do not like those seeds, and it's not as sweet as juice.
Strawberry kiwi is one of the greatest combos of all time.
Exactly, with sugar. Okay. Straight kiwi.
Yes.
Strawberry kiwi. That's all I'm saying, guys.
No.
Shakes is canceled. I agree with Cantina.
Cancel me. Go ahead, cancel.
Strawberry kiwi. That's all I got to say.
No, we used to cut them in half and just take a spoon.
Yeah, you're tweaking, bro. He's a mango eater, so he does like this the whole time.
Exactly. Give me that.
Well, thanks for hanging out with me tonight, you
Thank
guys.
you.
Like I said, DSB connected us through our Discord. We have a channel where you can suggest a guest. So if you're part of our Discord, go ahead and let us know who you want to see on the channel, because it works. I just go immediately, and then it's worked because I can say, hey, this person knows me. I'm not a spam bot. I've got names. And I'm really grateful he did, because I'm excited for what you guys are doing. So in a nutshell, Greg, why don't you tell us, in a nutshell, what do you guys do as geeks?
So we're Rising Eagle Comics. We're all black dads. We're trying to write comics, just for us. Bring a lot of diversity to try to do what like Milestone was doing back in the '90s.
Cutting a
But just modernize it a lot. Do a lot of more inclusiveness too. Jake's got kicked off the island for real.
Yep, I came back.
The internet came.
Yeah, we just want to write awesome stuff, and more relatable things for everyone to read. Like for a lot of us, we either got inspired by like Black Panther when he was in Captain America, or for me, Miles Morales has always been my GOAT. He's my favorite Spider-Man. So we just want to do stuff like that,
You can't see, but I got Miles right here on another poster.
I appreciate that. That's my boy. I got Spider-Man tatted. I am deep.
I want to unpack so much of that, because you're hitting a lot of trigger points that I think are so important that we talk about throughout the night. So we'll get there, but not too soon. How did you guys first all get together? Like, were you lifelong friends, or did you just meet in some weird?
I'm gonna let John take over this one for a second.
So like you said, my inspiration came from seeing Black Panther in Civil War. Just seeing him pop on screen, seeing the reaction he got, remembering how it made me feel. It inspired me to start writing comics myself. But I've always been a casual. I was more of a casual nerd. Like, I've seen all the superhero movies, and I knew about superheroes and stuff like that, but I was nowhere near like immersed in it enough. So I started out writing, and halfway through writing my very first issue, I realized like I don't know enough about superheroes to make sure, one, my idea is original, and two, I'm not repeating a lot of mistakes that earlier writers made and things like that.
Sure.
And me and Greg went to the same high school, just different years. He's about 2 or 3 years younger than me, I think. And we had been friends on Facebook for a while, so I knew he knew his stuff as far as the comics and superheroes go. So I started reaching out to him. At first, it started out just fact checking things, getting his opinion on things. But as we started to talk, one, we became friends, and two, it came out that he had also wanted to write and create himself. So now it became a mutual type of partnership where he was teaching me about comics, and I was, helping him stay motivated to write, get really deeper into that, things like that. And so from there, we spent the first couple of years probably, me and him just really pushing stuff out, working on things. And then after like my second issue of Sergeant Soul, which is my first character, after that dropped, he introduced us. Well, I knew Shakes already, but from hanging out as a friend. But after that, he was like, "Yo, Shakes also wants to write, wants to get in, wants to turn it into more than just me and him." And Shakes got in. He started writing, and that brought us to last year, where all three of us dropped one of our origin characters comic books.
I love just listening, loving so much of that story, because it started with an inspiration, like seeing Black Panther, and wanting to foster a creative spirit in what you've been kind of keeping on the down low. Shakes, you have to stick with us, man.
Because the kiwi.
I'm going in and out. The kiwi killing me. Hold on.
The kiwi, I think there's kiwis outside your house just sawing through your internet connection.
Strawberries are right next to it, man.
Exactly. But then I love that like just through Facebook, because Greg happened to be geeking out loud, you just knew that was a safe person that you could connect with.
Yeah. He's always been very publicly, a geek, a nerd, whatever you want to call it. Like he's never hid it. He's the main one sharing comic book battles and superhero what ifs, things like that. Yeah. So like I said, before I even started writing, me and him would talk about it, but it was always real casual because, like I said, I had very limited experience. Mm-hmm. But now our group chat is going 25/8. Really, like it's
right. Someone's always saying something in there, man. It's usually me, and I'm gonna lie, be sending hella like links and shit in there, but like,
and
we keep doing our thing, man.
So and then like I said, after I got started first with like I said, I have 3 issues of my original character, Sergeant Soul, already out. And in the meantime, Greg was really taking his time finalizing his character Showtime, really like he was really diligent with his artist selection, things like that. But in the meantime, like I said, Shakes joined the team, and his idea, which was actually really different from me or Greg's, any of our original characters, it was really refreshing and gave us that jolt of energy during those times where it's like things had slowed down, motivation had started to waver a little bit. Shakes coming in really recharged us and gave us energy. Yeah.
So do you mind, while we kind of talk about your comics, because you keep referencing them, and I know that I want to learn more about them, and I like a visual. Do you mind if I show your Instagram while we kind of go through? And
oh yeah, for sure.
Go ahead.
So while we're talking, and feel free to stop me and kind of help us, like when you talk about Sergeant Soul or Showtime or the next character, go ahead and stop me and say, okay, this is this is this.
So the image on the left is the one we're using for our Kickstarter program. Our Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah.
In the middle, we have Connie, written by me.
Okay. On
the left, we have Showtime, which is written by Greg. And then on the right, we have Legacy Blaze, written by Shakes. Three vastly different characters, all in the same universe, though. And right now, they don't connect, but down the line, we're really working on...
We're weaving some stuff up for it.
We're doing massive world building, really setting up an epic event, something similar to Infinity War and Endgame or the Crisis event that DC did. Like we're really trying to
jumping off the deep end right from the get-go.
Yeah, a lot of one thing we've noticed since we started in the indie comics game is a lot of writers are just writing their story without any type of end game or
no goals, man.
Any type
of trajectory.
Yeah, like we're playing at least 25 issues down the road for each character. So,
and how long has Rising Eagle Comics been a thing?
Civil War started out. Civil War dropped in 2016. I went out and bought a Chromebook the next day and started writing. And then I was connected with Greg before the summer of 16. So, by then we had a name and a few characters on the map. So 6 years, going on 7 in May or March, one of those.
That is wild. And how many issues have you published now?
6 total. Yeah.
All right. I'm right with them. I dropped 1 physical, but I have 10 issues up on web novel right now.
Nice.
There's just nothing but the scripts.
Okay.
Guys, check them out on there. 50,000 views already on web novel, so definitely go help a player out. Go hit 100K this year.
Yeah. So, yeah, we go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. This is your.
Like I said, we've been. Even though we're only at 6 issues produced, all of us have a handful of issues already written and scripted, just ready to hand off to an artist, because none of us can draw. Shake can draw a little bit, but me and Greg, we don't even touch it.
Nah, I don't do stick figures, man. I don't do anything.
So you guys really are you're writing these, you're conceptualizing the characters and the kind of story arc, but then you hand that off to an artist and they kind of storyboard that out and draw the actual physical concepts of the characters?
Yep.
I have no idea how a comic comes to be. I honestly have none.
It's a process, dude.
The very first comic book company on the show, so I've got so many questions on how this all works.
Well, Shakes, you can go ahead and tell them about what is you dropped yours most recently, so you can tell them about what the process was like for you from start to finish to getting Legacy Blaze 1 out.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So Legacy, let me start from the way back, the beginning. So I had this character since I was in 6th grade.
Oh wow!
And yeah, and you could tell I was inspired by like stuff I watched because the first Legacy was supposed to hold a sword, like the Sword of Olympus from God of War.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's how he gets his powers. But then, like, you know, you age and just rewrite it, and then I still have in high school my first story that I written down for Legacy, and it's completely different than the actual outcome. And then in 2016, me and Greg, drinking. And I'm like, dude,
that's when all the best ideas come out.
That's really all the best ideas. Drunk, just I'm like, dude, I want to make a comic. And Greg was like, oh, I'm writing one too. You should just do it. And I was like, I don't know if I have the funds, and I don't know what to do. And Greg was like, dude, just write it, and we can worry about that later. And I said, okay. And then that's how Legacy started off the rip.
Everybody needs a Greg in your life, it sounds like.
Try to do everything, man. Try to help him out,
You're like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I just need someone to give me the go-ahead to tell me it's not the worst idea.
All you need is one person to believe in you, man. That's kind of the rule of thumb I try to apply.
Everybody
and it's crazy. When I first written Legacy, it was going to be 30 pages long.
Okay.
And then I saw the prices of the artists. I said, yeah, we're going to have to trim that down.
And how long was it? 2 pages?
Excuse me, say it again?
How long was it? 2 pages?
30 pages.
I know, but then how long did the actual come?
Then I trimmed it down to 22.
Okay.
Trimmed it down to 22 pages.
That's not bad.
So full 8 pages just scrapped, gone.
But
that's a good lesson, though. That's a good lesson. Those prices taught me a good lesson. Don't overwrite.
Right better. Touch you how to write better.
Yes.
Touch you how to write better.
Definitely touch you how to write better. I'm like, yeah, you don't need that. Yeah, you don't need this. You don't need that. And
that was one of the biggest things. Because like as you said, starting off, we had no idea how the actual process went of making the comics. Like, we all knew it needed a script and everything like that. But what we realized is because we can't draw, at least not well enough to make our idea, worth handing to other people, we started to find artists. And the first time you talk to an artist, like, hey, how much do you charge per page? Like, I got lucky for Sergeant Soul, my first one. A guy who also went to me and Greg's high school, up and coming artist himself. He
what high school did you guys go to that you're all these brilliant creative?
We went to Limbo Math and Science Academy.
Yeah.
Math and Science Academy?
Yeah.
All this repressed creativity.
I was up north. They're out south. I was up north.
So yeah, he charged me. He's like, I'll do your first issue for a flat rate. But it was also his first comic book too. And I was honestly spoiled at that time because I'm like, oh, flat rate, and it was, it was really affordable. I'm like, oh, this would be great. I can make comics all day. And then the next issue, I met with a more experienced artist, and he hit me with a contract that included prices per page, how much it costs to change things, everything. Like, it was a really detailed contract, and I was like, oh, okay, now we're getting in the game for real. And yeah, comics are expensive. Let's put it like that. The cheapest you'll find a really good artist. Honestly, is like $80 a page.
A page?
Yeah.
A page, brother. A page.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not an easy thing to do. I tried drawing a comic book one page when I was in middle school, high school. I didn't know what I was doing, but that alone was so fucking hard.
Like Greg mentioned, we just sat in on a 24-hour comic book jamboree, which was a comic book contest where they 24 hours to create a comic book from scratch. And sitting there watching them go through the actual process was really eye-opening because for sure I understand the prices now. That shit is no joke.
It's intense.
What's crazy? It's $80. It could be $80 just in black and white. So it's an extra $30 to $50 for color.
Right, that's not including certain line work, certain if they're going to do lettering, all that's separate. All that's separate. You know.
But when you're good at what you do, like you need that look.
Exactly.
So let's go back to your characters a little bit, and can you kind of educate us on who they are and what their powers are, and maybe a little bit about their stories?
Yeah, we can move left to right. Showtime's on the left. He's a 19-year-old. He's a 19-year-old Afro-Latino. He discovers he's in the comic book. I won't spoil how he learns, but he learns he's in the comic book. He meets the creator of the story, which is essentially an avatar of myself.
Okay.
With that, think like the Matrix when Neo learned like he could just do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
That's Showtime right now. He's a 19-year-old kid in college, freshman. Yeah, my freshman. With all the freedom in the world to do what he wants. So at this point, he's just trying to change the narrative of his life and see how the boundary and see how far he can really push it. So the reality warping power is about to get really wacky really soon.
And so almost like within this world,
I got little gains, you know, something like that.
within this world, he can basically do anything he kind of can imagine.
Yeah. Whatever the writer can think of, he can do. And my imagination is freaking limitless, bro. So you're going to see a lot of cool stuff from Showtime. And it's a big connective piece into the bigger map we're writing. Okay.
So tell us a little more about Connie.
So Connie is she's an immortal assassin. Well, that's her moniker is the Immortal Assassin. She was born towards the tail end of slavery. Her parents wanted a way to protect their only child, so they reach out to a shaman, and he ends up doing a spell that lasts the duration of the pregnancy. She ends up coming out. She has super strength, speed, heightened intelligence, and she's invulnerable. So she basically spends her life, being a superhero, but not necessarily. She's Batman, but with real powers. All
Batman fans just left the chat.
Yeah, hey, I am anti-Batman, but yeah, she's
they're gonna spread up.
She's mega rich, mega smart, and she takes no shit from anybody. Her big thing is, she's super badass. But the fun part about writing her is it really challenges me to not just punch my way through everything. Sergeant Soul, who's not pictured here, he's not a part of the Kickstarter, but he's very much I'm a punch my way through everything character. He'll have some intelligence feats later on, but with Connie, it's all about character development, really showing how she gets things done without just using her super strength. And like I said, she ends up with, like I mentioned earlier, we're really aiming towards something down the line. You'll see her step into that Iron Man kind of role where she's kind of the brains of the team, the emotional crutch and everything like that. And I look forward to that down the line.
That's really cool. And that challenges you as a writer that you can't punch through. You have to think creatively, how am I going to solve this? And lead, it sounds like.
Yeah, she's been rewritten so many times to make her.
He sent them to me. I help. He sent them to me.
Yeah, she gets almost every other week. It seems like.
That's her prerogative. She's not. She can change. She can be.
Yeah, she's adaptable.
All right, Shakes, before you drop out again, tell us about...
Hey, the power of the Kiwi is messing with my internet, yo. Like, I apologize. I do not want to be you. But yeah, Legacy is in this universe is a separate universe than Showtime, Connie, and So. This universe is people call users. So think of Avatar: The Last Airbender, where people control different types of elements, but more in depth.
Okay. Uh-oh, I think we lost him.
Poison.
That was that Kiwi, man. That damn Kiwi.
So in his corner of the universe, you can control elements from not just earth, air, wind, and fire, but you can control lightning, poison, different types.
Really to the nitty gritty of like elemental things.
Rock, mud, all of that. And if you really in tune with your powers and you train it, you can turn that element into solid armor. And that's what you can see with Legacy with his left arm.
Dope. So is that like lightning armor that he's got on his left arm?
Yes. Yep.
Fucking sick. I love that arm. I love characters that have like one bionic arm. I don't know why. I think it's sick. More of it. That's dope. And was Avatar kind of the influence early on for Legacy?
Big definitely. Big influence. Big influence. I loved Avatar as a kid. I took that concept and I'm like, I want to break this down more. I want people to. I like One Piece, where each devil fruit controls different types of stuff. So it's like a mix of both of those. And he's 13. He's the youngest.
Youngest and the shortest. And here's that Sergeant
for
Soul
now.
Yeah, that's Sergeant Soul. Like I said, I'm a huge Superman and Thor fan. So I wanted to create a character who, if I wanted, would be able to punch up there with them. And by the time later on down, not starting out, but later on down the line, he's definitely punching up there with any of the heavy hitters you can think of.
Hell yeah. So
I want to ask you a question. Do you know what this picture is referencing from?
Oh shit. Now you're putting me on the spot. I told you our show, we don't know
seriously.
We have
you put me on the spot with the live audience, so I gotta put you on the spot.
No, I don't. What is it?
Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, of course. See, that's one of the things I need to get into. I just haven't. And I'm ashamed.
Get into it. That's really good.
If you Google it, it's almost exact the same way.
So do we need to shout out the artists, or are these all several different artists?
This one was my artist.
This was
Yeah, I should have sent you the link for my credits for the first issue. I just know his first name is Dicky, and I don't remember his last name. So sorry if my artist is watching this.
It's like, wow, I worked really hard on that for 14 hours, but that's fine.
The artist of Connie that you're about to see on the cover right there.
My God. Oh my God, this looks so good.
Fuego.
She was another so her name's Cassandra. We met because I posted in a Facebook group chat like, hey, looking for a new artist, yada yada yada. And someone messaged me like, I'm not an artist, but I know someone you should check out. And he gave me her Instagram. We connected and it was an immediate great connection. Like I sent her the script. She's like, yo, this is amazing. She does amazing work. My favorite thing is the way she brings out colors.
Yeah.
She's super dope. She's actually going to be taking over and doing the whole Connie series, but she's also taking over and doing Sergeant Soul starting with number 4.
For real?
Hey.
Yeah, so we're looking to get a lot of work out of her. She's an amazing artist. Can't wait to keep working with her.
Hey, and can I ask, and I've seen it in previous pictures, but her staff has got 2 fists on the end of it.
Yeah.
Like, tell us about what's going on there.
So when I was designing Connie, I wanted to make sure she was all about, Black Power. She was all about her culture and everything like that. So the staff itself, the name of it is Haraka. I had a meaning behind it. I don't know right now, but I was a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan.
Yeah.
And as you can tell by both staff, Donnie was my favorite.
Hell yeah.
So I figured if I'm gonna make a hero with a weapon, it has to be, one of my favorite. It has to be an homage to one of my favorite characters growing up. So I decided, and I didn't want to give her just a basic staff. I wanted to give her something that really stood out and was unique to her. So
yeah,
that's the story behind it. She's got a couple of cool weapons. The fun thing about her is pretty much every issue she's going to have a different look, a different style. Like I get to have different costumes with her and everything, kind of like Iron Man in his suits, basically.
And then that challenges your artist, so that challenges your writing. It doesn't put you in a box.
Yeah.
It's dope. We're just gonna keep kind of scrolling, but one thing that you mentioned at the start of the stream, Greg, when you were kind of talking about what makes Rising Eagle a little different, and when I was scrolling your website, I heard you say something, or I read something that you wanted to create comic books and characters that you wanted when you were kids, and maybe to represent things that you felt like you didn't have. Talk to us a little more about that and what's really fueling that.
Well, like I'll reference Milestone again, because they did like a big thing in the 90s where they brought a lot of like people of color. LGBT community was really a big thing for them too. So we wanted to do that too, but we didn't want to like let me choose my words properly. We just wanted to make sure we kept giving that to people. We didn't like bow out of our original mission statement of like, we definitely just want to give characters ourselves, and we want to tell stories about us that aren't like McCrab, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not just slave stories, they're not just like we just get killed in the beginning of the movie and stuff like that. Like we want to write some real, write some real cool stuff. Like Lovecraft County was a big inspiration for Murph and I when we watched it. And it's just a different type of storytelling. So we just want to keep telling those different types of stories. But just for all people of color and just for anyone in diverse, anyone in a very diverse community, LGBT down, we just really want to just hit across the board and, do our thing to help out and increase everything in the community.
Yeah.
It's the right, real fun shit, man. Like at the end of the day, we still want to have fun doing this shit,
Yeah.
Because it's fueled by your passion, and it doesn't feel good to have like, hey, here's a one-off where now we're going to focus on people of color as some other comic.
Yeah, you feel me?
Yeah.
We're here all the time. Like diversity is around you all the time. Why do we get one series or a one-off?
Exactly.
I love you're telling the stories that are being told actively every fucking day of every fucking year.
Exactly.
We're seeing some things like this is maybe some.
We're getting retro, man. We're seeing some stuff from
okay.
Way back.
Yeah, that's Sergeant Toe issue 2. That was, I want to say 2018. That was done. The inside illustrations was done by Ivory Jones. We met in the Facebook group. He did a great job of telling the early story of Sergeant Soul. His art, as you can see, some of the other images was really realistic. Like it really,
the faces are popping off this.
Yeah. So Sergeant Soul Volume 2 was one of the first times we really got to see personality wise of Sergeant Soul. Like the first issue obviously was me telling the story, setting up why people should care, stuff like that. But in this one we got to see who he was, his connection to the city a little bit. And then also it was just a lot of growing experience. Some of the other characters you passed were part of so for our anniversary, what was that, Greg? Like 2020?
2020, yeah, when we did the 30 for 30.
Yeah, we decided we were going to do, to celebrate our anniversary month, we did a 30 for 30 where we dropped a different one of our characters every day for the month.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so that's why you see a lot of different characters and their sketches and things like that, because we were just commissioning artists, getting pinups and commissions done. We have a lot of them planned out already, but they're not at the stage where we're ready to go forward with the full issue. But like I said, for our anniversary, we want to just make sure we were in everyone's faces. You know, the big thing with building a brand is you got to stay relevant. You got to stay in front of people's face. So we figured if we're posting a different character every day for 30 days, somebody's going to see it. So that was a lot of fun. It was exhausting, but it was a lot of fun.
I mean, I respect the grind.
Yeah.
That's what it is, man.
Immensely.
Let's play possible right now.
And fun fact, the drawer of issue 2 of Soul did my very first character commission for Legacy.
Oh, yeah?
I think he did mine, too. I think he did
Yeah, for a while, we were just, if someone found a good artist, you know, we gave them as much work as we can handle until we, you know, found someone who might have fit our style more. But yeah, we've worked with so many different artists. It's a lot of fun. Get to see so many different styles. Get to see your dream come to fruition in so many different ways.
Yeah, it's different when you see your character. It's different when you see your character on paper or on a screen. Like, man, I created that.
That's what this whole year, man. This last 2022, it's been a freaking year, man, for us. We've been from conventions down to just traveling a lot more, and to see a lot of the satisfaction of we got this done has been really dope.
Yeah, because you guys have had a banner year, and you're not stopping, because I think you just launched your Kickstarter for something exciting yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What's going on there? Tell us about it.
All right. So as last year was, we dropped Connie 1, Showtime 1, and we dropped Legacy 1. This Kickstarter is called Rise of the Sequels. So we're dropping Showtime 2, Connie 2, Legacy 2 this year. Actually, in this first quarter. We have a big goal here of 6,000. There's a lot of cool rewards from puzzles, shirts, shot glasses. We got them all. We're about to hit our first grand, I think. I don't know. Help me out, chat.
Nice.
Yeah, I think we're about to hit our first grand.
I'll drop
we're
the
really
link
excited to get this going. A lot of things are in production. A lot of our comments are in production. I think I'm halfway through. Mervis getting really moving. Shake is about more than halfway through. So we got a nice thing happening right now. Where ideally we're trying to drop 3 projects this year each, and just kind of keep this mixtape grind mentality for the next couple of years. Until at least we can hire another artist or something like that, and another writer. We could just like lean down a bit. Yeah, we're at 821 guys. So
nice.
What's up?
You guys just a month ago, and almost your first grand in what, basically 24 hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're
gonna hit it. You're gonna hit it.
Yes, sir.
The big thing we're trying to really get, you know, anyone who's looking to support us to understand is like a lot of other Kickstarters are funding like just starting the project. Whereas for us, we've already started. We're going to make these issues no matter what. It's just we want to be able to get these into as many hands as possible. We want to share our stories with everyone that we can, whether you like Shake says, whether you like Avatar, whether you like Batman, whether you like Spider-Man, Deadpool. If you like comics, if you like reading, if you like compelling stories, we're just trying to get our the stories we've written into as many households and hands as possible. So we put in a lot of work. We've got, like Greg said, we got amazing rewards. We spent hours debating on which rewards would fit, which rewards wouldn't fit. We did something fun with the reward system. Most people just do tiers and they just, you know, tier 1, 2, and 3. We decided to kind of the Easter egg hint at the
what's about to go down.
Yeah, we're hitting our big event. So that's why the reward tiers are kind of like in a warning system style. Like it starts out with warning is level 1, and then it's code black, I think, and then it goes all the way up to like code red, system failure, something like that. But
that's cool.
Yeah, we want to make it entertaining. So warning, system malfunction, imminent, and then, you know, code white, system error. Like, it's all a theme. Yeah, and a lot of people probably didn't even realize that, but later on down the line when we're dropping our event, we'll be able to hint like, yo, we told y'all about this all the way back on our first big Kickstarter, and you didn't even realize it. So
the real ones will get it.
Exactly.
Well, y'all, whether you're watching back or listening back or here in the live chat, if you have a few extra bucks from Christmas, maybe grandma gave you a nice check or some cash, throw it at Rising Eagle Comics, because they're doing some grand things and really important things, but they're using a medium that they enjoy, that we all can enjoy. And I'm really just impressed by all of you and the fact I love how you get together.
We're just some dads trying to live out our dreams. That's all.
But you're geeking out loud, and like,
yeah, man,
exactly what we here at 4 Geeks by Geeks preach. That when you geek out loud, then you find your tribe. Like just when John years ago, he didn't know where to start, but he found Greg because you were geeking out loud, and so you just attract the people that you're meant to attract as long as you are passionately pursuing your your geekdom.
I was definitely that guy back in the day. I was definitely the guy debating Goku versus Superman back in the day. I don't jump into those versus battles as much anymore, but that's where you used to see me at. Like, nah, you can't do that, man. That used to be me back in the day.
Well, now you're too busy writing comics.
Oh man, I'm writing my own versus battles with my own characters. I'm thinking about it right now.
It's only a matter of time before somebody asks if Showtime could take down Spider-Man, and
then I gotta stun on my favorite hero, man. You know, it's gonna happen though.
No, but I was thinking about that before. Like, I always like bringing down like geeky glasses.
Yeah.
And I've got a Spider-Man water bottle, and I was just thinking, I can't wait for the day that there's like a Showtime water bottle, or a Legacy, or a Sergeant Soul, or Connie. Well, like, what would that mean? Let's like jump. Let's
take notes, team. Let's take notes, team. He's giving us hints.
Man. 10 years to speak it all into existence. I don't know, man. Like, so about 3 years when that starts happening.
3 years.
I don't know, man. It's one of those, because when I dropped the comics, I'm not gonna lie, I cried the first day. Like, I texted Murph, texted Shakes. I was like, man, I'm fucking crying right now. This is insane. So I don't know how it would feel if I saw like merchandise like that and just easy accessibility. I'd probably cry. I'd probably cry to the joy. You know.
The thing is, since I had already produced first 3 versions starting, so I had already went through like that initial emotion that I knew both Shakes and Greg were going to go through.
Yeah.
I told both of them, I'm like, when you order your comics and you get them, you're going to cry when you open them. And they're, oh, nah, man, just got to keep working. They were very business minded, and I kid you not, both of them said something in the group that let me know, like, yeah, you cried, and it's okay.
So John was like, hey, record it and send it to me. I have my sister record it, like crying and shit. And I'm like, hey, I'm not sending you this though. I'm not sending you. You're okay.
Oh,
you'll get the I love you thing later, but you're not getting this video right now.
But that's on your Instagram here, isn't it?
That's just John's. Mine is like boohoo crying, man. I was not sharing that.
That's me opening. Volume 2, yeah.
I don't know if you can hear anything.
Oh, there we go.
One of our friends, had him come up in the beat that Kickstarter sold, and that's here now.
You got the Sergeant Soul merch on.
Yeah. Yep.
Of course.
All that can be found on our website. I learned how to web design through YouTube.
I need to see your face. I want to see the tears.
I don't want to cry on camera.
He's acting all nonchalant. It's no big.
And it hit different when you get that new comic book smell, but it's your own comic. Oh, sweet Jesus.
Yeah, no, it's fire, man. That's such a fire feeling.
Nothing beats it. But
and we actually have a good working relationship with the printing company we use. Mr. Legit Showtime. Yeah, yeah. I love you, Jose. I love you so much, man. It probably has some like explicits on that shirt, because like, yeah, but
There's a story there, and I want to know it.
Yeah, it's a long story with our old boss. He was a jerk.
Okay.
That's the kindest word I could put. But we have a very good working relationship with Comics Wellspring. Is the company that's our printing company.
Okay.
To the point where we have their highest. They did an interview with us. We're the highest viewed interview they have on their Instagram.
Huge.
Yeah, we print there all the time. They heard me call them like, "Hey man, where's my stuff at?" So I got to know a couple of the higher ups intimately. So did John. So we've been establishing as we go really important relationships. Hope to do the same thing with you guys here in the community. Keep establishing these relationships to move us forward and move you guys forward as well.
I mean, geek out loud. When you geek out loud, you make your tribe, right?
Yes, there.
Okay, so while I love to geek out and learn the positives, I also think it's not fair or accurate if we don't also share some of the rough bits and the honest bits. So as comic book creators and writers, and now a comic book studio, what are some of those rough edges of that kind of story that people wouldn't know before they get into the muck of it?
I could start.
Yeah.
So like I said, I started producing mine all the way. Like my first one dropped in 2017.
Yeah. So you've been doing it.
Yeah, and like to be honest, as much as I love my first issues and everything, I envy Shakes and Greg because
we love you too.
Their patience they showed in selecting an artist and saving up and getting their first issue the way that they dreamed is something that I won't be able to experience unless I redo my first issue later on down the line. Like I love it. It's always something I'm going to be proud of, but it's a hard sell because of the difference in art style. I won't even say quality, just art style. Like Connie, when you see Connie, it catches your eye. It's like, wow, this art is amazing, et cetera, et cetera. With Sergeant Soul 1, it was more, I had to sell that much harder because I have to sell the potential of the story as opposed to Connie, Legacy, Showtime. The art itself draws people in and they're like, well, I want to see what this art is about.
Yeah.
And I mean, comic books in of them themselves are a visual art form.
Exactly.
That's what draws people, I think, first, just right off the rack before they even know the characters, right?
So yeah, one of the bad things I guess you could say is being impatient when chasing your dream. It takes a lot of restraint to not just jump at the first opportunity to get it done, especially when you're a little bit younger, you're really eager. So yeah, being careful and diligent in dealing with artists and selecting an artist is one of the harder parts, and one thing that I personally I call it was a learning lesson for me. So yeah, that's one thing that I would say.
For me, it's perfectionism, man. You'll it's killer for, I think, for everyone. You always want to do the most perfect thing every time. Sometimes you just got to say fuck it and just release it, man. Honestly, because you're gonna sit on that script every single day, every minute. Like, oh man, I could maybe if I tweak this sentence, or maybe if I added this slang so that the young people hear anything, right? You're trying to account for too much, and honestly, make that comic enjoyable for them as it is for you. I read my own shit back now. I'm like, oh, I'm having a good ass time, and like, you just got to cut that perfectionism. This sucks. Like, I think we all do. Anyone as a creator, like, you go through that motion, but you just got to just drop it, and don't be scared. That's another big thing. I think at one point or another, everyone was like just either doubtful or just scared, like, oh, this won't make it, or whatever the case being. So you just got to do it. At the end of the day, you got to do it.
Yeah, it's like that saying, you're never finished. You're only stopped.
Yeah.
It's never done. You're just, I'm going to stop here, and that's what's going to be.
I guess another one that's a big one for all of us, especially because we're all dads. It's, we got to, accommodate for like a whole nother life. There's going to be days, man, you're going to be broke as shit doing this. It sucks. It sucks, man. It sucks chasing the dream, man. You got to eat some ramen for like 2-3 days, man. It sucks chasing the dream. But I can guarantee you that bowl of ramen is so worth it. Once you get that, you get to see people message you about this comic or this song you dropped. Whatever. It's just such a satisfying feeling. Where, hey, that ramen you ate like 3 days ago. Hey, man, that's awesome.
Even experiences like this, like getting to, getting to talk to other people and see other people tune in just to listen to us talk about what we're working on. So it's still really surreal. It definitely makes a lot of those nights worth it.
Well, you made it at FGBG, so you can just retire now.
And even just the writing process. Like me and Greg started writing Showtime in 2016. Didn't get released till last year. So all that time, you just gotta grind and
grind and be accepting of critique, man. I think you guys know me are pretty big on. I'm big on critiquing and like let's moving right and left type of deal. Like we send each other the scripts all the time. We don't let anything get published or anything get posted without like a peer review. All this, we all got to read this, give a couple thoughts on it.
Yeah, that's one of the I won't say it's a bad thing, but it's a interesting dynamic. Is you have 3 people, chasing their dream, albeit together, but we have to hold each other accountable. We have to be real with each other because at the end of the day, what we put out represents all of us, and it represents what we're building. So there have been some hard conversations. There's been some nights where I'll drop something and I thought it was a great idea, and before you know it, I want to mute.
Stop talking to me.
I want to mute everybody and tell them like, hey, you know what? I'll just talk to y'all next week.
I'm out.
No, well, it's crazy. We'll put out a concept idea, thinking, okay, this is gonna be cool. Next, the question is, what about this? What about that?
Hey, you got
and it's just back and like, you know what? I don't even want to talk to y'all no more.
Yeah, my thing is always ask
the whole idea down.
My thing is always ask the questions the readers want to ask or want answered. Yeah. So that's always like a big thing we all try to do, man. Make sure we don't have that many questions. So when we present this, they pretty much answer themselves. We want to make it not as big two as possible because you read a big two comic, there's some questions being answered, especially if you're not immersed into those. Right, so we just want to make things reader friendly. At the end of the day, that's always my thought.
Because these characters inside and out, and weird connection, but I come from a theater background. And I always teach my students that if the audience is lost, that's your fault. That's not theirs. Because they don't know the story that you're trying to tell. And so that's interesting that even in writing and comic book writing, it's the same conversation.
The audience controls a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? For better or worse, for better or worse. So you got to accommodate a lot of things.
I mean, you're writing for yourselves. You're writing because you enjoy this. But it is a medium that is meant to be shared with a public.
It was we did a contest. Like I said, we did the Jamboree, and there was a really dope comic. Like the comic was amazing. Like visually looks good, everything, but it was just so complicated. Where I'm just like, you can't sell this to the average reader. I can't go to a 4th grader and be like, hey, read this. They don't get it. You have to always accommodate. It's not always us adults reading it. There's kids like 5th, 6th grade who want to pick up a comic with a curse word in it. We gotta accommodate, for those that that audience as well.
Yeah.
Can I ask what does a script of a comic book feel like? It's not like just a novel where it's just a whole narrative, but is it like a script?
There's 3 different styles. You're gonna get 3 different answers here.
Okay.
There's 3 different answers.
The story was when I first started writing. I come from a background of I used to write poetry, short story. I started a novel, so I've always been a long prose type of writer. Okay. So when I first started writing comics, I was still writing that way. Like I was writing everything out, every bit of detail and dialogue that you could think of. So Sergeant Soul 1, Sergeant Soul 1 was 56 pages.
He explained like
that was the trimmed down version.
And so when you say 56 pages, does that mean that if as a comic book reader, I'm going to read 56 pages of panels, or is that just the text?
Nah, that was just The actual book was 56 pages.
Wow.
And that was after we cut it down. Huh? Yeah, we cut it down by a lot, by the way. Me and Murph sat and like grinded it out.
Yeah. To where now Connie tells probably twice Connie 2 tells probably twice as much story, and it's only going to end up being 18 to 20 pages. So a lot of practice. I've learned that as a writer, you have to understand the art is doing half the storytelling for you. So I learned how to cut out a lot of the dialogue, a lot of the useless. Because you know how like narrators say, "Oh, he's walking to the door."
Right.
Like I learned you don't have to do that when you're writing comics. Like he's going to be seen walking to the door. You just need to say what he's answering or responding to or thinking to. So for me, writing a comic feels a lot like going through your day and just having the action words in the notes for the artist to see and be able to turn that into a visual, but not so much not so much narrating your whole day anymore.
Right, it's almost like stage directions versus dialogue.
Exactly. Very, very much so, yeah.
Oh my! I had no idea that theater and comic books had such a close connection.
Relationship right there, yeah.
I'm hearing you talk about the same exact things that I think about and I tell my students about. We don't need the narrator to say it; just don't say it, show it.
Exactly. Yep.
So then, how much of that? I don't know if I'm even allowing all of you to answer all my questions because now I'm just having so many. But
no, you're good. You're good.
But with you kind of changing artists, and I'm finding that now you're kind of solidifying your relationship with your artists now. Is that so that the conversation and the story you're telling can more cohesively do it together? That's got to be hard if you're changing artists all the time.
Yeah, that's why it's really important, to find an artist you click with.
Yeah.
So, because like with my artist now, I could just send him my page.
Yeah.
And he knows. Like I barely have to edit his stuff.
Yeah.
It's like little tweaks, but he's on it. Like we click now, and I'm gonna stick with him for legacy.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same, except I still go be like, hey man, maybe you should change this and this and that. Maybe this will look better. I still do that. But me and my artist also have a very tight relationship. I actually just messaged him, told him to try to tune in. He's on the other side of the world, but I still told him, hey, try to tune in.
I think process-wise, I'm the most lenient when it comes to like artist edits, like because I really want to give, even though I'm writing a story and it's a story that I care about, I enjoy giving the artist as much agency as possible, which is why you'll see I have tons of different versions of Connie and Soul, and they all look completely different because I enjoy seeing artist interpretations of my different characters and stuff like that. Whereas Greg the artist is an extension of his hand, even though he can't draw it himself. When he's contacting or he's contracting the artist, he wants the artist to really be thinking from his brain. And then Shakes is kind of the middle ground where like because he has a little bit of artistic ability himself, he's a little bit more lenient, but he's also very particular about a lot of different things. And you can see it in all of our different issues and different characters.
But it's all about that relationship with the artist.
Yeah.
That's what's important. If you don't build it, and you can't even get in the game.
No.
Networking and learning how to socialize has been a huge thing that we've learned. Like, because when you think about comics and geeks and stuff, the stereotype is, oh, they don't do a lot of talking and yada yada yada. But when you're making them, oh my God, you really have to get your social skills and your ability to people.
You have to communicate. You have to.
Communication is key.
There's been way too many times I repeat the same thing to an artist and they don't get it. I'm like, oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
But you
I'm
just have to
all for visual images. Here, it looks like this. This looks like this. I'll make it easy for you.
You're fine with a little extra finger.
I've taken pictures of myself in poses for my artists.
Oh yeah, you want it just like this.
I was like, I want this. It's like John was saying. My art is basically an extension of me, but understand, I'm Scotty Pimpin, and my artist is Jordan. At the end of the day, visually, understand. I understand. They're looking at this before they, understand that. Oh, I'm just as important in the game too. It's such an interesting dynamic to be a shooting guard,
So for anybody that maybe wanted to do what you guys are doing and has a great comic book idea, maybe they've even drafted it up, but they don't know where to find an artist, where would you guys suggest?
Dive into these Facebook groups, Instagram groups, Twitter group, anything artist. Just look up artists for commission or something like that. And there's thousands of people looking for work. Man.
Honestly, everywhere. It's kind of goes back to what you said about when you geek out loud. You never know who you're going to talk to, because one of the commissions I had a while back was actually it was just a sketch, but he was my cousin's fiance.
Oh, wow.
And the only reason I even connected with him was because, I was telling my family about what was going on. And she's like, "Oh, my fiance does art." And I'm like, "Hey, I love to work with him." So you can find, honestly, the more you talk about it, the more you, like Greg said, if you're in Facebook groups and you're talking about it on Facebook, people will recommend artists to you. And granted, they won't always be the style you're looking for or anything like that, but you run across so many different suggestions and possibilities. But as far as socials go, you can find them on IG, Twitter, Facebook.
I think Disney art is still alive too. Like
just hanging on by a thread, but it's there.
Yes.
Fiverr.
I tried there once. The thing with that is,
it didn't really hit for me at least.
It's really hard on Fiverr because I like to know a little bit about the personality of the person I'm going to be working with.
Okay, yeah.
Just because that gives me a better understanding of how our connection is going to be. Like I like to see how you interact, how you talk, how you carry yourself when you're not selling yourself. So socials are a little bit easier because before I even reach out to you, I can scroll back on, multiple posts and see how you were handling yourself in the comments or see the things that you posted. Whereas Fiverr, they got their name, their time zone, their prices, and their images, and it's like, okay, but who am I actually about to reach out and give my money to?
And I feel like Fiverr is probably more for just like some quick commissions.
Oh yeah. I would get like a up on there or something.
Relationship that you're trying to build.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I do the same thing with my guests. People suggest, and I'm like, okay, but I get to vet them first. And I go to y'all social media, and I check you out, and I'm like, okay, I could vibe with this person. Or this person hasn't posted in 2 years, and they're quiet. Like, that's going to be a painful hour and a half on the internet.
We're pretty active. As you can see, if you've seen some of my stories, I'm either posting the comic or I'm posting like music I'm listening to for the day. That's usually how my Instagram is. Or my kid. Post my kid a lot on my Instagram.
Oh, Shake's gone again.
That Kiwi.
Eddie's back.
Guys, the Kiwi guys. I already apologize. I don't know what's going on here.
And you're thank you for legacy too. And you gotta apologize. I'm sorry, Kiwi guys. I did not mean to upset you.
On screen. Can you go get a kiwi and eat one right now? I think that's
you have to, man.
Oh my!
It's the only way.
You got to Uber Eats just one kiwi though, and like tip that dude $10 for it.
Next time I come back here, I'll have a kiwi ready for me. So I can apologize to the kiwi guys.
We would definitely love to come back. Man, anytime.
Yeah. Like I said, we this Kickstarter, or like Greg said, this Kickstarter is really we're hoping it's a launch pad for this year. We want to not just drop these three projects in the first quarter. We're essentially aiming to get another round near summer, and then to end the year with another round if possible. We really want to grow our universe as fast and as big as possible. Because we've been sitting on this, like they said, they've been working on stories since 16. We're all writing different scripts right now. I just came up with an idea the other day that is going to be hilarious, but
I'm excited for that one.
It's going to be amazing. But like we have so many ideas that we want to not get through these stories, but we really want to like get these stories
out there
so that we can start telling even more and really like expanding the universe in every direction.
Yeah, we want to grow with the fan base, as people just grow, jump into our universe. We want to just keep expanding it too, expand with everyone.
Yeah, you want to give them something that they're jumping into.
Yeah.
So as Rising Eagle grows, how do you hope that you are able to affect the greater conversation about comic books?
One, I would hope that as we start making funds and we're able to lower our prices. The big two will lower their prices too, because comics are like $6.99 now. Man, that shit's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, shit's super expensive. I got like a $40 gift card. I was like, okay, I can buy like 4 comics. Like, I can't really buy as much as I would like to. I think our goal is to just be impactful overall. Like, similar to, like I said, I bring up Milestone a lot because they're just that big. They brought a Static Shock when we were kids. So I hope we get to touch different mediums as we continue expanding. Get some anime out there. We're all big anime guys. I'll get some anime out there, get some movies out there. We're not going to do what DC did with the extended universe. We're not going to do that, guys. I can almost guarantee you.
Please
We're going to be organized. At the very least, we'll be organized. The very least, we'll be organized. And I'm the biggest DC guy ever, but we'll be organized.
And I really like all the inspiration that I drew as a kid from other artists, comics, whatever. I want to have the same.
Yeah.
I was cutting out.
Create my own thing, my own comic or whatever when I'm growing up.
Yeah.
And that I'm happy with that.
Inspire kids to be able to do the same thing that you are inspired to do.
And then for me, I want to show people that comics or geeking out or following your dream even isn't just for like a certain type of people. Like, it's really anyone and everyone. Like, I come from, I played football my whole life. I wasn't the typical looking geek, so I didn't deal with a lot of the things. But when people find out that I am a geek, I don't want it to be a surprise. I want people to be able to geek out loud and be able to be themselves and chase their dreams without any type of stigma around it.
Yeah.
I just like embrace who you are and follow all your dreams whenever you want to.
And I love to hear that, especially out of you, because you started this conversation by saying that you were a casual geek. You weren't like a big geek. Almost like you had excluded yourself from allowing yourself to have that title of geek because you felt like, well, I'm not a real geek. I'm just casual. But now I think you might look back at your past self and say, you know what? You're a big fucking geek, and I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I think young me would 100% be proud of the things I'm doing, the things I'm helping to do, and some of the connections I've made and things like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Murph's gonna go down as like the godfather of this comic shit, honestly. Because honestly, we probably wouldn't be I wouldn't be doing this at least because
you started this, man.
He's going down as one of the goats. So we're just gonna join along, put our names down there too.
In the canon of comic book history, Rising Eagle will soar.
That's the way it goes.
I like to ask a hot topic question, cause drama. Boser, which character is your favorite?
Ooh.
Okay.
And it's so difficult because I haven't read the comics.
Mm-hmm.
I've only gotten a piece, so I can't rightly judge. But I like Showtime. Because it's like I like the concept that he's living his own comic story. That's incredibly creative and not anything like I've seen before. I like Legacy because it's Avatar and he's got the one dope armor. It actually reminds me of, I think it was Killer Instinct. There was an old video game, Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One character that had an arm that looks a lot like Legacy, but it was like big and black. Mm-hmm. And when I saw that, I just had like a nostalgic hit me in the back of the head. Like, okay, I fucking love that. And Connie just sounds like a badass bitch that I want to follow around and pay at night and know that I'm not worthy of. So I know I skirted around the question because I don't have an answer. I can't. I love them all. I go read them.
Yeah. So actually, I have to send you a link over to probably after this. I entered a Shonen Jump contest. Enter Showtime. Yeah, up there. So you can read it on Manga Plus Creators.
Okay.
So you just type in Showtime. It's up there. I peaked at so far at 64, but I'm thinking I'm back at like the 150s because I've been so focused on the Kickstarter. I haven't been sharing that as much.
Yeah.
You could read. You could go to Comics Wellspring, download all the digitals.
I just found it and I just shared it with the chat in case anybody else wants to go read
Perfect.
some.
And Showtime, they're free. Comics Wellspring PDFs, you download them.
Are there any physical copies I can pick up anywhere? Like, would you be at a comic book store, or we're not there yet?
I think we got them at a couple shops, but I got to go look it up and see if they've sold out or not.
We're still trying to find the best, which stores are really accepting comics, because a lot of them don't let you just walk in and drop them off anymore. We're still trying to find chains or individual stores where we can drop off issues. We have tons of them on hand, but we can put together a little swag bag, and you message Greg or message us with your address, and we can get it to you in no time. We love getting our physical.
that means you got to hop on that Kickstarter too.
I was about to say, if I donate to the Kickstarter, can I have a swag bag?
Hey, if you check under the rewards and you do the add-ons, there's actually a catch-up add-on, which lets you get all of our previous issues. Anyone who wants to pledge and just make sure you check add-ons, hit the catch-up package, and you can get all the past ones and get the 3 new ones once we're fully funded.
Dope. I'm doing it.
Appreciate it.
Oh, there's an add-on. Okay, I see. Okay, I'll have to do that after the stream.
For sure.
Because now I'm definitely interested, and I appreciate the work so much more when I know the artists and know the writers. And we've had a couple of writers on here, books that maybe I wouldn't grab just on my own off the shelf, but now because I know them and they shared the story behind it, I'm like, oh my god, I have to read that. So thank you guys.
A lot of good stuff coming.
Sharing tonight. If you guys have really resonated anything with Rising Eagle, then please go just search Rising Eagle Comics if you're listening. But if you're here in the chat, you can use, like Alec did, command Rising Eagle. It takes you straight to their Instagram, which also is linked to the comic Wellspring, where you can pick up their own comics. And it's got links in the post and on their Facebook to their Kickstarter. So please go support these guys because they honestly so much deserve it. I've had such a great time.
It's been a blessing.
This is awesome.
Yeah, this is great. Really enjoyed talking to you, getting to tell our story and talk about what we're working on.
Yeah. But before I let you go, can we end on something a little ridiculous?
Let's do it to it.
We don't have to do it long, but one of the oldest games we've ever played here on 4 Geeks by Geeks is Superpowers with a Catch. So because I'm here with some real deal comic book writers, I thought we'd play Superpowers with. So how it works is I've got a random superpower generator with ads galore for PetSmart.
Hey, I got 2 dogs myself, so
I gotta get an ad blocker for you too. That's what I'm gonna do.
Before we start, it's hilarious because whenever we even like brainstorming on new characters and stuff, there's multiple times where we found a page like this, and just randomly generated powers or ideas and seen if we could write something based off that. So this is going to be hilarious.
So the key is I'm going to randomly generate a superpower, and we have to think of how that superpower is cool, but give it a catch so that maybe it kind of sucks. Like, I can fly, but only when I'm powered by my own farts.
Gotcha.
Okay, so we don't want to use invisibility. That was there already. We're going to generate a new superpower, and this is just kind of popcorn, so shout out whatever you think. Atomic manipulation, the ability to reconstruct atomic makeup.
Okay,
This would be me if I had this power, atomic manipulation. I have the power to change the atoms at their level, but I got an F in science.
Man. Atomic manipulation, but you can only. I didn't expect this one.
I didn't either. Like, damn.
I didn't think we were gonna get like a difficult one from the jump. It's atomic manipulation, but you can only change the butt. Got this.
The butt?
That's it.
John, did you have one? I heard you.
I was going to say atomic manipulation, but you got a slight case of dyslexia, so all your atoms are backwards.
That doesn't matter, right? If the 2 is on the front.
It does. It matters a lot. Hydrogen and carbon together in a different way makes a whole lot
of freaking nuke.
John R. Geek says atomic manipulation, but whatever you alter always comes out as cheese. That's not too bad in my opinion.
Nah, man.
Yeah, well, Shakes
you guys have like Gouda cheese, like you could kind of start cheating the system a bit.
Okay, give us a new one. Ooh, X-ray vision, the ability to see through anything except lead, apparently.
All right, Superman. All right.
Right.
I'm back from the Kiwi realm.
X-ray vision, but you can't see the answers to a test. That sucks.
Ooh.
X-ray vision, but it only works when you're sleeping.
Oh, that's ass. That's absolutely trash right there.
X-ray vision.
You get X-ray vision, but you have to constantly move. You can't stay in one place. You got to keep moving.
You're just gonna get freaking
X-ray vision, but it makes a really loud noise whenever you do.
Oh my god!
Hey, what are you looking at?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Rain
coming down.
DSB says X-ray vision, but it's legitimately radioactive.
That reminds you that that Spider-Man powers. There's actual spider just come out of his IL Family Guy.
Yeah. All right, get another one. Animal control, the ability to speak with and take command of animal kind.
Whenever you talk to an animal, it doesn't like you.
Whenever you talk to an animal, it just starts to fight you. So you.
Whenever you talk to an animal, you taste the last thing they eat.
Oh man! Oh man!
Yeah.
Oh man, that goes south real bad here with the Chicago dogs.
I'm never talking to my dog again. Sorry.
You go real south, man.
We're not talking.
You talk to a wolf, you go taste rabbit ass.
Hey, imagine talking to a pig though.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask him if he can make bacon, bro. Like, unstoppable momentum. You
become impossible to stop once you're moving.
You're juggernaut.
You can't control where you turn.
But you can't turn. You're just like, ah!
You forget where you're going.
Unstoppable momentum, but you can only go up.
Oh, that's tough.
You go take out a plane.
That's a callback to our very first YouTube episode on 4 Geeks by Geeks 3.5 years ago. We played this game with my very first co-host, PK, and that was his. It was flying, but he's like, but you can only fly up in a straight line. Pour one out for PK. He's not dead. He's not dead. For anybody that isn't aware, he's not dead. He's very much alive. You guys have much better answers. We're just going to skip me. Evil projection, the ability to call upon the darkness to take out your enemies.
Oh.
You have this power, but you're scared of it. You're scared of the dark.
Yeah, but you never turn the light off. The ability to call upon the darkness, but it resonates in all of your like 7th grade fears.
I was literally gonna say, I think, but monsters always come out when you do it.
But what?
But monsters always come out when you use your powers.
Yeah.
You can call out the darkness, but you have to cuddle with it later before you go to sleep.
You can call upon the darkness, but it might leave you on red.
like you, Big Spoon. The darkness is Little Spoon type of thing.
DSP says we call upon demons, but they complain the whole time.
Or you call upon demons and they're lazy.
Oh, that's tough.
I don't know if I feel like doing this today. Can we try again tomorrow?
That's not in my Zoom schedule.
Evil projection, but you sunburn terribly if you go out in the direct sunlight.
Oh,
Tough. I gotta look like a Tumblr character though.
All right, last one before I let you go. Live your best life and get back to your children. Oh my God, explosive farting. The ability
well, they already got the cons there.
How do you add an extra butt to this giant butt?
wait, what's the power again?
Explosive farting.
Explosive farts?
Yeah, to turn one's farts into explosions.
That's actually pretty dope. Dude, like you at the bar, you already get the bubble guts because you've been mixing drinks, and that one dude's been talking too much stuff.
No, you gotta use it for your shot, man. Just hand it over, like, here you go, bro. I bought you a drink. Damn, man, I don't know. I feel like they kind of got this one. Like, that's a good time.
You know,
every time you do an explosive fart, you cry, like sobbing, crying.
Every time you fart, you throw up.
Oh, okay.
John says, add an extra butt.
The bigger the fart, every time you fart, your nose gets a little bit bigger. Let's go.
Oh man, freaking Pinocchio effect with every ass rip.
Explosive farting, but every frat guy in the tri-state area rushes to your house to be your best friend.
Oh no, man! Nah, man, we're in Chicago. I'm okay. No.
Bro,
I don't need the politics from down the street coming over here.
Dude, check this guy out, my man.
Hey, Greg, what do you say? Play some Bad Bunny.
Play some Bad Bunny. Play some Benito. I don't want to hear that the whole time if it ain't me.
Well, you guys, I've had so much fun hanging out with you guys.
Thank you.
Same.
Like all of our guests, I say this all the time, but I've yet to have a bad guest. I don't know why. Every person on the show ends up being the greatest on the planet, and it was no less true with all of you.
Glad to keep the streak alive, brother.
Yes. Yes. Keep that luck
definitely
up.
be down to come back again, man. Maybe after we drop the second issue, we'll probably run up here again.
Yes, please do. I want an update, and I know now that you've got so many more fans on YouTube, on podcasts, and here on Twitch, they're going to want to know. And if you guys want to follow along the journey yourselves, hit them up on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Rising Eagle Comics, and go support the Kickstarter. Now it's live until when?
February 7th at 1:30 p.m.
All right, 28 more days until February 7th. I didn't do the math. I read that on their site. And you want to make $6,000, and you're almost a sixth way there. Yep. So let's do this for Geeks community. Let's do it for them because they're stressed.
Appreciate all the support. From the smallest pledges to just if you want to share the post, every helps. Spread the word, make your pledge, and just tune in for what we got coming.
We will be definitely sharing it on our social media directly after the stream.
Thank you.
And if all of you liked tonight's Geek Out Sesh, then tune in again. We're doing it again next week with the comic educator. I'm sticking in the comic realm. I'm so excited.
Do it, man.
You guys actually might really love this guest because he likes to highlight underrepresented comic communities.
We'll
tap in. I can't wait to hear. I'm just fishing him for my list of guests for the future. Hey, who is that? What's the studio? What's their Instagram? Got it. And T will be live again this Wednesday. He'll be playing Curveball Rocket Science. It's a thing. It takes real physics. I'm not good at it. Hopefully he is much better. And then Thursdays are ongoing campaign of City of Mist. Tune in. We're up to episode 20-something. It's getting wild. So if you're into RPGs like D&D, but this is a little bit gothic noir. It's almost like writing a graphic novel with your friends. tune in. It's good stuff.
All right, better enough.
But I am looking for somebody to raid. So if anybody has a suggestion in the chat, let me know. Greg, John,
Thank you.
Jakes, this has been amazing. Thank you.
Appreciate you for having us, brother.
Thank you
Yes.
for having us.
We'll be back on team. We'll be back on.
Yes. Hashtag Connie is Bay. Hashtag Showtime Fun Time. Hashtag It's a Legacy.
And we have a little tradition at the end. I never tell my guests ahead of time because I forget and I'm. But we're going to say, until next time, I am, and then say each of your names. And then we're going to say, you just keep. And then we all together say, geeking out. Okay.
I got you.
This is the practice run / real thing.
I want to say we're going to need some practice.
Until next time, I am Boser.
I'm ready.
I'm Shakes.
And you just keep
Geeking out loud.
Geeking out loud.
Woo!